Did y'all see the ending of the Kool-Aid episode number 2? This is a very intense storyline here where Ruth's daughter is turning against her. We haven't seen the worst yet, as what we've seen so far has been shocking and definitely unexpected. Let's get into it. This little girl has been trained to be a soldier and to worship the Raku, but when she first got there, she was far from worshiping a Raku, a horseshoe, or a bamboo. She was innocent. She was kidnapped by her own mother, for Pete's sake, drugged to the compound against her will, and rebelled for days on end, crying to go home to be with her now dead daddy, Barry. Y'all remember Barry from The Oval, right? Their daughter grew up in the cult and has now been taught to see everything through the eyes of the Raku. She's strong, she's disciplined, loyal. She's even recognized the changing of her name from Callie to Ruby. Most of you will probably remember when she first arrived on the compound. The highest was calling her Ruby at that time, and she didn't answer. But now she's telling Ruth, her own mother, that her name is now Ruby. If we look at this character in when she first arrived to now, it's safe to say that she's grown up in the cult with the other cult children. You know, like the kids did on The Shy. I think they all started when they were in like middle school, and now everybody is grown and in college. So the children on Ruthless, they're now mimicking this same plot pattern, right? Where their true age is actually a part of the storyline. Now, we all know what happens to the young girls when they become 14 on the compound. And the fact that I won't even mention it in this video is a clear indication enough for you to put 2 and 2 together, okay? This is the real drama right here. This is the storyline that I'm most anticipating. I don't want to see nobody else go to the punishment trailer. I don't want to see nobody else stealing money from the highest. I don't want to see nobody else whispering behind the trailer. I don't want to see no more love scenes between Ruth and the high. Well, hold on, wait a minute. Because they're quite comical because the highest ain't never had none. So he'd be so excited to munch on Ruth's cooch, right? Like a little kid in the candy store. And when Ruth gets out of line, can we even see little Ruby saying, "Mom, you're betraying the Raku"? Well, you know, probably not, because she's not even recognizing Ruth as her mother. And Obadiah already told them in the last episode that they no longer have daughters. So I don't think that Ruby is recognizing Ruth as her mother any longer. This is quite interesting, you guys. And look at her with her weapon of choice here. One little girl grabbed a gun from the table in one of the previews. You guys remember this? And here we see Callie, aka Ruby, holding an axe, boldly stating that she is a child of the Raku. Has she really turned her back on everything that Ruth has taught her? And this is only speculation here, because what has Ruth really taught her for real? You know, we were introduced to Callie, or Ruby, at Nancy's house, and she was there because Ruth had joined the cult, and prior to that she was a prostitute. So she doesn't really have any real parenting from Ruth at all. The only thing that she's seen from Ruth is how to be subservient to men, and she witnessed her being abused. Well, she saw her mom abuse Tally, and that's a fact. And unfortunately, Ruth was not able to protect her from seeing that. So what is she going to do now that little Ruby here is a trained Raku soldier who's no longer her daughter? And we saw where Ruth is now kind of in alliance with one of the other mothers of another little girl after she slapped the shit out of her. In front of everybody. Now she wants to be her friend, right? Telling her to keep her eyes open and her mouth shut because she wants to somehow get the kids away from Obadiah. And good luck with that. Now, when and if she does this, who's gonna watch their little badasses? Hell, the way they were soldiered up under the gazebo, they can watch themselves. They don't need no babysitter. And y'all, this is how soldiers are. They're brainwashed. Their minds have been manipulated somehow. And this is what I want to see. I want to see what they know, right? How they're going to raise up against their parents, because you know they're going to raise up against some parents. And they got weapons too. Yeah, this is what I'm most anticipating. And this kind of reminds me of that Bible scripture. I think it's Matthew. I'm not sure, but it talks about, you know, where a man is against his father and a daughter against her mother, the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law, and all that stuff, right? This is what this reminds me of. This Bible verse perfectly captures the tension here. How is all of this gonna end, y'all? They ain't gotta worry about the evil government. They need to be worried about them children walking around the camp with sawed-off shotguns and hand grenades, right? They're the real enemies right now. That's who they need to be worried about. Will Ruth be able to save her daughter, or is her daughter too loyal to the Raku? One thing for sure, this storyline will keep me hooked, no doubt about it. Tyler Perry's Ruthless never fails to deliver drama that keeps us on edge, right? Ruth and her daughter's clash is one of the most gripping yet. It's not the most gripping, but one of the most. And I can't wait. These are just my thoughts though. Let me know what you guys think below down in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You know, I'd appreciate it. And if you're a fan of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, then go ahead and sub to the channel. Oh yeah, you know what? Before I forget, I'm so sorry. I like to give a big shout out and a big thank you and a welcome to the 1,000 plus subscribers here on the channel, the new subscribers here. Thank you so much for subbing, commenting, liking the video. And if you're new here, go ahead and let me know that you're a new subscriber so that I can welcome you personally. I really appreciate you guys. And I appreciate everyone who has been here from day one, everyone who's came in between, everyone who's joining now. Thank you for joining the family, you guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks again for listening, and I'm going to see you on the next one.